Hi, and welcome to the third installment of our series of St-Feuillien beer reviews here on the Brewed Palate. As you saw in the pour clip leading into this video, the beer we're going to be doing is the St-Feuillien Brune, which is a Belgian double, clocking in at 8.5% ABV. This bottle is the oldest of all the bottles. It's also 2012 vintage, and it was bottled on either February 8th, 2012 or August 2nd of 2012. So I believe it's the oldest, if not close to being the oldest, of these beers that I got from Artisanal Imports. They're all from St-Feuillien and from Belgium. So this beer should have aged quite well. Belgian doubles do usually age pretty well, just along with quads and triples. Again, another deep ruby red beer with big dark fruits. The big dark fruit aroma, not much yeast character. A little bit of like alcohol esters peeking through. It's like very fruity, but it smells like some of that fruitiness is definitely not only from the yeast and the malts and the candy sugar and the hops, but also from alcohol esters, because it's just a little sharp. But with all that being said, let's go on to the taste. So for the taste on the St-Feuillien Brune, definitely very straightforward Belgian double. Definitely on the sweeter side. For being over a year old, this definitely doesn't have much, pep in its step. It doesn't have like a spicy kick to it to dry out the finish. It doesn't have any like big nuance that jumps out at you when you first taste it. Very smooth fruitiness with a little bit of that caramel toffee mixed in, but it's mainly that fruitiness that you get in many Belgian ales from a combination, as I said in the Aroma, the candy sugar that they use, the dark candy sugar in this case, the malts, and the yeast. No real alcohol in the finish, but on that next sip, it does dry out a little bit on the palate, and it finishes not too sweet. It really leaves the palate, that's a nice sweet caramel toffee on the palate. Not as much sweetness, not as much fruitiness. Like it's really that malty caramel toffee left on the palate, but it does dry out. It doesn't leave the palate with like a ton of sweetness on it. Yeah, it's really balanced. That's what I think I like about it most. It has like a big hit of fruit up front. Then it's not one note. It's like all a fruit basket of dark fruits, dates, figs, cherries, stuff like that. You get that up front, and then as it dries out, it really transitions really perfectly into that dry toffee caramel flavor, which I really enjoy in Belgian dark ales. So I'm going to go ahead, as with the Special or Cuvée de Noël, drink a little more, compose my thoughts, and I'll be back soon with the St-Feuillien Brune. Alright, so we're back with the St-Feuillien Brune. I really took my time. As you see, I only have a little bit of beer here left in my glass. I did put this wine stopper on top to save the rest of the bottle just in case I don't finish it tonight. As you see, you might see it's a little darker in the room since I filmed the first half, because I really took about a half hour or so to sit and sip the beer. I just feel that slight alcohol ester is really kind of taking over the aroma and a little bit the flavor, because while it's balanced overall throughout the sips, it was really balanced, but now towards the end of my glass, just that slight alcohol ester note mixing in with all the other cherry and and toffee and caramel and Belgian candy sugar flavor is just a little too much. And when fresh, I feel that wouldn't have been an issue when it warmed up, because there would be a lot more sugars in the bottle for the beer to really taste really nice. And because it was a little bit better tasting when colder, I feel that this bottle is just past its prime. So for food pairings, and just thinking about what it would be like fresh or a little less aged, I'd probably pair it with desserts that have a little spice to them, because it has like an slight earthy finish, and it was never too sweet even when it was colder. So I would pair it with desserts like a oatmeal raisin cookie, which has like cinnamon in it, or a gingerbread cookie or ginger snap cookie, which has a like fresh ginger bite to it. So while they are slightly sweet, they're never too sweet. So this beer, I think, would go well with desserts like that. So to rate the beer, it's kind of disappointing that, for not like 75 or 80% of my glass, it was really nice, and then now that it's really taken, it's really warmed up, the alcohol is just really, that alcohol, like, I don't want to say solvent, but fusel alcohol note is really there. And really kind of detracting. So I'm going to give this beer a 7.5 out of 10. It's really balanced, but it just doesn't age as well as I thought it was aging, for most of my glass. So I think fresh, I would probably give it an 8 or even an 8.5, because I was really loving it until the end. So if you do find the St-Feuillien Brune, try to get as fresh of a bottle as possible, and then, based on how much you like it, see how much you want to buy another bottle to age. So again, that's the St-Feuillien Brune. We still have the Triple and the Grand Cru to review. Cheers to St-Feuillien for another great beer. Cheers to Artisanal Imports for providing these great beers from St-Feuillien. And cheers to you guys for tuning into this review, and I hope to see you in the next couple of reviews.